Even though we're barely into the second month of 2026, this year's already proving to be just as unstable and not so fun as the rest of the 2020s. There have been major developments at home and all over the world, and many of them could have big impacts on the availability and the prices of items that we use every day. So today, we're going to talk about 10 items that preppers should buy before March 1st, 2026. First up, we have non-EV lithium batteries. Those are found in pretty much every electronic that we use nowadays, and there are several reasons why they could get a lot more expensive over the next few months. There are ongoing supply chain issues for critical minerals like lithium, cobalt, and nickel. Then a good chunk of the world's refining and production of those happen in China. That's a problem since the US is imposing new tariffs on Chinese batteries and other components. Then, when you add that to the fact that demand for electric vehicles and large scale energy storage is going up, it's very likely that prices on smaller consumer goods are going to go up due to tariffs and increased demand. So, for preppers, that means that vital equipment like solar power stations and solar generators are probably going to increase this year. And the same is true for smaller individual batteries also. Those can include USB battery banks, power tool batteries, and batteries for other things like flashlights, headlamps, and radios. Then pretty much every phone, tablet, and laptop uses lithium batteries. So if you've been putting off getting something like a new solar generator, now may be a good time to go ahead and do that. Then if you have batteries for other equipment that are starting to degrade, like I just had to replace a couple of my power tool batteries because they were starting to wear out, then replacing those probably wouldn't be a bad idea. And if your phone is about to poop the bed because you haven't replaced it since 2015, now may be a good time to take care of that also. Unfortunately, though, batteries aren't the only energy-related prep that could get more expensive this year. The vast majority of affordable solar components are made in China, or at the very least, use Chinese components. And with new tariffs set to hit in 2026 and other ongoing trade tensions, solar gear will probably get more expensive across the board. That includes panels, charge controllers, and even connectors. So if you've been thinking about building an off-grid setup, a backup power system for your home, or even installing a smaller system for your RV, then you may want to get everything that you need to build that out before prices go up. Then after that, we have respirators. Those include basic N95s along with half-face and full-face respirators and replacement cartridges for those. One big reason for this is the potential for wildfires in 2026. Forecasters are calling for a hot, dry summer across a good portion of the US and Canada, which means that wildfires and heavy smoke in certain areas are likely. Then some of the materials used to produce them could be affected by trade issues as well. Now, the good news is that prices right now are actually lower than what I've seen in the past, at least for half-face respirators. I think the last one I picked up was around 45 bucks, but I'm seeing them online for around 37. I use mine for building projects and various other things around the house, but they are an item that tends to get scooped up very fast if people think that they're going to need them. In addition to wildfires, they'll be in high demand if there's, say, a nearby industrial accident or another outbreak. And if things get really bad, supplies of them could get locked down, and finding them as a private individual could get a lot harder. That happened back in 2020. So if you need to replace an old mask or pick up some replacement filters, now would be a pretty good time to do that. Then another protective item that could get more expensive this year are nitrile gloves. Most of them are made overseas in countries like China, Malaysia, and Thailand, so they're vulnerable to price increases from tariffs, shipping issues, and shortages of raw materials. I personally use these a lot for several different things. First, there's just basic household cleaning. If I can avoid getting nasty cleaning chemicals all over my hands, then I'm going to do that. Then I also use them for gun cleaning. It keeps lead and other crap off of my skin, and it makes cleaning up afterward a whole lot easier, like I'm not having to scrub my hands at the sink forever trying to get all that mess off. And of course, then there's also medical needs. If my kid catches a stomach bug at school and starts hurling all over the bathroom, I ain't touching that without gloves on. I use them so much I'm actually running a little bit low on them right now, so I'll probably be picking up some more soon. I like to get mine at either Harbor Freight or Northern Tool since they tend to be cheaper there, and those are good for general cleaning, but you may want to get actual medical gloves for first aid and other medical tasks. Then an item we've seen a lot of volatility with lately is lumber. Prices spiked to absolutely insane levels a couple years ago, then dropped a little bit, but now they're creeping up again due to a mix of tariffs, wildfires, droughts, and labor shortages at sawmills. This is going to make new construction and remodels more expensive, and it'll affect preppers in other ways too. Dimensional lumber like 2x4s and 2x6s that we use to build like raised garden beds, make repairs, or set aside for emergency fortifications could become more expensive, and the same's true for the plywood and OSB that we'd use for boarding up windows before a hurricane or for building sheds in our backyard. So if there's a project that you're wanting to do, like maybe a stacked rain barrel system, or you were going to put in more raised beds for the spring, now would be a good time to go ahead and get what you need for those. Then other building materials could become more expensive as well, especially those that are made of metal. Global steel and aluminum prices are already under pressure because of new tariffs, ongoing wars, and supply chain issues with mined metals. The situations in Eastern Europe and the Middle East keep disrupting shipping lanes, and that drives up the cost of pretty much everything metallic. That includes the nails, screws, nuts, and bolts that you'd use for making emergency repairs, building fortifications, or pretty much any little project that you could think of. There's also hinges, latches, and other door hardware, and even fencing supplies like T-posts and barbed wire. Getting these now will help you fix anything that breaks, build new structures, fortify your home, and give you very, very useful barter items. After that, we have a few different food items, starting with freeze-dried and powdered eggs. As we all know, eggs are an excellent source of protein, and they're used in a ton of different recipes. The problem, though, is that egg prices are incredibly sensitive to things like the avian flu outbreaks that we've been dealing with for the past few years, and they can also be affected by things like droughts that can drive up chicken feed costs. Since the avian flu's decimated flocks, supplies aren't near where they should be, and tariffs or other export restrictions from places like China or India could hit processed egg products hard in the next few months. So if you use freeze-dried eggs in your stockpile, or you want the flexibility to bake bread or just eat more than beans and rice if something goes bad, then get those sooner rather than later. You can always rotate through them if prices settle down, but if there's another round of avian flu, these could get a lot harder to find or a lot more expensive overnight. Then there's different kinds of produce. Environmental conditions and ongoing supply chain problems are driving up prices on fruits and vegetables across the board. Citrus fruits like oranges, lemons, and limes are being affected due to crops in Florida and California being hit by disease and bad weather. Then droughts in the Southwest and Mexico are affecting tomatoes, peppers, and leafy greens. And on top of that, we're also seeing poor harvest of potatoes and onions. All this means that now is a very good time to stock up on any canned or frozen produce that you use regularly. It's also a good idea to consider starting a garden if you haven't already done so, and order any seeds that you may need for that. Then sort of a weird one that we haven't talked about on the channel before is frozen juice concentrate. Now, buying a lot of this only makes sense if you have a backup power source that can keep a freezer running, but if you do and this is something that you use regularly, you may want to go ahead and get what you can. In addition to citrus production in Florida and Brazil having issues and tariffs on foreign citrus driving prices up, Minute Maid just announced that they're halting production on frozen juice concentrate. Other companies are probably still going to continue to make it, but having such a major source of that disappear will probably have effects on availability and possibly price going forward. Then another food item that could go up in price is shelf-stable meat. That includes canned chicken, tuna, Spam, Keystone beef, and even freeze-dried meals and jerky. Global livestock feed costs are up, avian flu and swine disease outbreaks keep popping up, and tariffs on important meats are now being discussed. All that means that the cost of meat could go up, and having plenty of meat is a big concern for preppers. Protein is one of the most difficult and expensive parts of the food supply to replace when things get bad, but shelf-stable meats like canned meats and those in freeze-dried meals can last for years, don't need refrigeration, and can help keep your meals balanced, even during long-term situations. So if you rely on things like canned chicken or beef for your preps, then go ahead and pick up some more if you can. Now, if you're a new prepper and don't know where to start, then be sure to check out this video on the first $100 that a new prepper should spend. Or if you want to see 50 preps and survival items under $50, then click here. Thank y'all for stopping by. Y'all have a good one.